So Trump has this opportunity to end the blockade on Iran. Iran will open the strait again. So he has 5 days to make up his mind whether he wants to end this failed policy against Iran or he wants to double down. That is the decision that he has to make. You know, this was yesterday, actually last night, that Iran's foreign minister announced that the Strait of Hormuz will be open. This is what Iran was supposed to do under the ceasefire agreement. And after the ceasefire in Lebanon, which is actually partially ceasefire because Israelis are still bombing places in Lebanon. But after the ceasefire in Lebanon, then Iran opened the strait. But Iran last night said that the blockade should end. Blockade is an act of war under international law, and it came less than 24 hours after the meeting that was held in Islamabad between the Iranian side, the American side. You know, in international negotiations, we have this terminology, negotiating in good faith. Negotiating in good faith means that you reduce tension, you engage in activities that would reduce tension. But the United States not only did not reduce tension after the meeting, just a few hours after the meeting, they said that they are blockading Iran, which under international law is an act of war. It's a violation of the ceasefire. So Iran gave Trump about 12 hours to lift the blockade, and they refused, and Trump started threatening Iran again, talking things about the negotiations that were not accurate, were not normal. And then Iranian authorities realized that you cannot have a one-way ceasefire. Either ships will go through the Strait of Hormuz, all ships, including Iranian ships, or it will go back to the way it was. And today it was announced that it will go back to the way it was. You know, again, under international law, the coastal states at the Strait of Hormuz or other straits have, followed this concept of innocent passage. If you look at the Convention on Law of Seas, Article 17, it talks about ships passing, but it talks about innocent passage in Article 17. In Article 19, it talks about what it means by innocent passage. It means the ships that pass should not threaten the security of the coastal state. Coastal state here means Iran and Oman. There are two coastal states at the Strait of Hormuz. United States is not a coastal state at the Strait of Hormuz. United States is a coastal state at Gulf of Mexico, but not the Strait of Hormuz. US is about 11,000 kilometers away. So Iran's right when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz is greater than the US rights. The Strait of Hormuz is in Iran's international waters, and they need to end the blockade on Iran. If they do that, that may look to Iranians that they have changed their mind. They're actually interested in negotiations, serious negotiations. They're interested in good faith negotiations. If they do that, if they continue to blockade Iran, means that they want to push Iran around. And if you can deduct any message from 40 days of Iranian fighting, that should be the result of that impression that you cannot push Iranians around. And this is something that Trump hasn't learned. He thinks he can go back to bombing Iran, but I think that would be a huge mistake. So Trump has this opportunity to end the blockade on Iran. Iran will open the strait again, and then they can continue negotiating. The ceasefire is going to end in about 5 days. So he has 5 days to make up his mind whether he wants to end this failed policy against Iran or he wants to double down. That is the decision that he has to make.